Yeah, so greetings YouTube, greetings in the name of the Most High. Just just finished listening to TVV Boxing Voice. You know, they TVV is a good channel. They interview a lot of people involved in boxing. You know, boxers. They interview boxers, trainers, promoters. You know, they I like the channel. I don't agree with the host for the most part, because to me they bias. You know, well, everybody bias, so I can't say they bias, because everybody have their own biases. But they seem to hate on. I guess, I mean, you know, whatever, man. You know, whatever. But anyway, they had the trainer for Sugar Hill, Emmanuel Stewart nephew. They had him on, you know, today, a little earlier, and I was listening to the interview, and the thing that bothered me is this dude Sugar Hill, right? It seems like, you know, he got the perfect smile, clean cut, nice American boy, whatever, nice, you know, black dude, seemed very humble and whatever. But this dude, to me, is a straight up snake. Why I say that? Why I say he's a snake? For one thing he said is that it's not a race thing. It's not a England or American thing. I mean, which planet he living on if he don't think it's a England versus American thing? Which planet he living on? Didn't all those British fans that came over, weren't they booing the American national anthem? Huh? Weren't they booing the, you know what I mean? Didn't he sing Bye Bye Miss American Pie after the fight? I mean, come on, man. I mean, either you know, then he said he don't watch boxing. Listen, the fact that you're so dishonest, the fact that Sugar Hill is so dishonest as far as like, he won't even acknowledge that. Okay, if you want to say it's not a race thing, cool. You know, although I think it is. But, you know, if you're going to say it's not American or it's not America against British and whatever like that, you know, now I know you know, you're being like, you turning a blind eye. You turning a blind eye. You do, for why? What's the purpose of turning a blind eye? So what? If you train him, you could be honest. You could, you know, you could say like, call it for what it is, man. You know, it's not hard to tell that this guy, you know, come over here and all the British, man, you know, whatever, man, whatever. But the fact that this dude is so dishonest, it makes me think that he's in on the whole glove gate thing. You know, like, for all we know, he took part in it. He knew that Fury was gonna do whatever he did with the gloves, and, you know, the strategy to be tripping and punching and choking him, and, you know, he probably implement all of that, you know, win by any means necessary type of mentality, just for the sake of it. Now you want to try and sit there and act all innocent and stuff, like, you know, like, oh, you know, you didn't know, whatever, you didn't watch boxing. Then you say you don't watch boxing, you don't look at strategy, you know, so now you're making it seem like you're such a good trainer, you don't have to study nothing, you could just come out of the blue and turn somebody into a super fighter, right? You could turn a feather-fisted dude into Thanos, right? All of a sudden, Fury looked like Thanos. Man, I believe listen, everything, the whole thing smelled like fish, and I ain't no sore loser, because I'm one that said straight up, Fury totally destroyed my boy, you know, after the fight. But then as I, you know, even during the fight, I was looking at the fight, and the second knockdown with the body shot, my wife like, oh, he tripped him. And I'm like, nah, that was a body shot. He knocked him down with a body shot. And then Went back and look at the fight. Actually, somebody actually posted a video on Facebook about, saying that here is something for you Wilders fan to feel better about this and that. And they actually showed Tyson Fury tripping him while hitting him in the stomach, and that was ruled a knockdown. So in reality, they were one knockdown, and even that knockdown was an illegal punch behind the head. He Tyson Fury, as far as the glove is concerned, I didn't hear a lot of people mention this, but Tyson Fury jabbed Deontay Wilder early in the fight. I think it's the first or second round, and that jab actually sent Deontay Wilder back. I'm like, wow, that jab was a hard jab. But if you look at it, the instant replay, that was one of the jabs with the glove bent back. You know what I mean? And a matter of fact, that I think that's the punch that actually busted his mouth, because he went back to the corner and he was spitting blood after that round. So, I mean, it's so much evidence that them gloves, something was wrong with them gloves, and Fury was punching with his fist. You know what I mean? All of a sudden you became, this super, super power type of dude, like Thanos. And not only that, but your fist is so hard. You can soak your hand in gas all you want. That ain't got nothing to do if you got padding or if your gloves is on right. That ain't got nothing to do with making you punch any harder or whatever. You know what I mean? Like making your fist that hard that you're gonna just bust somebody's face up through the padding of the gloves. You know what I mean? The reason he soaked his hand in the thing and his fist got harder is so that he could punch with his bare fist. That's the whole thing behind of it. You know what I mean? You punching with your bare fist. That's why he had to get his hands harder so that, you know what I mean, he could be able to, his hands could take the pressure from hitting with the bare fist. That's the real reason, because you ain't no way you're gonna tell me, oh, you boxing with gloves on, but you need to get your fist super hard. For what? For what? If you got, it's one thing if your bones or whatever your structure, you got brittle hands and something, but he never had no problem with no brittle hands, as far as I know. And then he's a very dirty fighter. He was choking him, putting him in headlock. But whatever, man, you won. I just look forward to see the next one, and hopefully while a team, alert the officials about the tactics that he does, choking and putting him in headlock and holding him and hitting him and whatever, man. Ain't no excuse. We'll see what happens next. You know what I mean? It's just discouraging. That ain't nobody. If Wilder is my favorite fighter, him and Errol Spence, right? Either one of them, if they get beaten, fear, like somebody just goes in there and just beat them up, just knock them out, stop them or whatever, or just totally dominate them, like I thought Fury did at first, until I went back and looked at the tapes and the certain things that you see. Because even in the fight, I know Fury was fighting dirty, but it's like, okay, a lot of people do that. So, and then, it's just so much things, man. It's so much things. While I didn't even look right, people like to say, oh, conspiracy theory. Man, I'm a conspiracy theorist, so conspiracy realist. I believe in that. I believe the whole thing was a setup. Everybody was involved. The WBC, Bobby Ram, I don't know if the PBC was involved, but it's just so much. Come on. You gonna tell me that was the Wilder we knew, or the Wilder we know that night, looking so shaky? Huh? I heard rumors that he might have been drugged. Well, I don't know. I can't say that he was drugged. But I could say this, he didn't look the same. He looked different. He looked shaky. He looked weak. You know, whatever though, man. You know, I just felt like I just wanted to touch on that. You know what I mean? You know, that's all, man. You know, anyway, man. Peace, y'all. Be blessed.